Year 7 of DBD is coming to an end, and what a year it was. While it had many, many lows, it also had some of the highest highs in nearly every year of DBD's history. Uh, the events actually felt like events for the most part, and two of the best chapters to be released in recent memory came out this year. And they also made a huge amount of experimental and risky changes and implementing these new features. Basic features, sure, but at the end of the day, it was probably like one of the biggest years in advancement for DBD's core gameplay. So to me, it's kind of like a beacon of hope as to what Year 8 has to offer. And so, I'm going to share with you my wish list for Year 8 of Dead by Daylight. While this did happen in Year 7, we just need more of it. I think Behavior should really stop looking at the most used perks for now, and just do like a whole mass update, or mass spree of all the least used perks in the game. Like Beast of Prey, Visionary, Hangman's Trick, Corrective Action, and Zanshin Tactics, and Red Herring, and just so many other underused perks that I think need a bit of love. Behavior really needs to just start looking at what makes these perks not click with people, understand if they're just too niche, or if they're not supposed to be niche, but because of like how they activate, or the cooldowns, or the numbers, why they are just so niche, and really just pump some love into them, pump some love and care into these lovely little perks. On a similar note, I think many killers need updating, such as Trapper and Myers, who just need modernization. There are a lot of killers who just straight up need add-on passes for either the Spirit Blight reason of being just stupidly strong, or the Nemesis Pyramid Head reason of just having really shit add-ons. And we also need that Twins overhaul, as well as maybe an overhaul to Skull Merchant, Artist and Trickster. And maybe we could also get substantial updates to Knight and Sadako. And maybe we could finally balance Nurse by making Matchbox and Jenna's Last Breath base kit. As of writing this script, this game contains 228 perks, that's 122 Survivor perks, and 106 Killer perks, with a minimum of 3 being added on every single chapter release. And, don't get me started on cosmetics / the charms specifically. It's about time for these basic features to be added to DBD. Like, I don't want to be wasting a whole 8-hour shift each time I want to change my loadouts. It's like one of the most requested features for the longest time, and maybe in Year 8, it's time Behavior finally gave us it. Why are there so many offerings in this game, and why do the vast majority of them suck? First, I think map offerings need to go. Get them the fuck out of here. They're the least healthy for the game, and funnily enough, the most commonly used. Next, we need to trim down all of the blood point offerings, because most of them are just borderline useless and bad. Like, just use the bloody party streamers and escape cake / survivor pudding as a base, and have them scale up with rarity to boost blood points either yourself or the whole game. I suppose Mist will either need to be overhauled to be volumetric, or just have the Mist offerings deleted, and maybe you could replace them with like a time of day and weather options. Shroud offerings, useless, need to go. And you know what, I think offerings as a general just need to be looked at. And you know what, cool idea, since we're getting rid of so many offerings, an idea for me, you see all the glyph challenges that you have in your tomes? Why not just make them offerings that you could bring in? Bring in a red glyph offering where you could just do a red glyph and get more BP. That'd be kind of fucking cool. For the longest time, I have suggested either removing hook timers or just extending them to be like 11 minutes long, which would then go down by 2 minutes for each generator done. You need to add a icon to the UI if the killer's within a certain radius of the hook survivor for too long. And maybe you could just make some of the anti-tunneling mechanics just a bit stronger, or even make DS base kit. Fuck it, I wouldn't complain. Just, it's something that needs to be done, especially since the meta is just tunnel out a survivor. Like, that's not fun. It's not engaging to play, and it's not engaging to watch. Why do you think no one likes watching comp? While Behavior made great strides in Year 7 to improve on the user experience and the general user interface as a whole, I think there's still a lot more that can be done. For example, you can let us see our teammates load out in the pre-game screen, We should add a scoreboard in-game that allows us to track which perks the teammates are holding, and the current item they're holding, and the offerings that they used. And also keeping track of the score during the match of each player in the team. And a final note on this as well is killer power descriptions, I think, need a huge update. Like, recent killers just have this massive fucking wall of text that's just so mentally draining to look at. So my solution is you massively simplify the killer power tooltip that you see, and on the character info tab, there's like a bit that has the power, and it's like laid out in a lot of fucking detail, like how you see on the DVD wiki. When was the last time you even used this? The Shrine of Secrets, it's outdated. It's a relic from a bygone era when DVD really only had a handful of perks. So what I propose is the Shrine of Secrets is a whole list of every perk in the game divided into Killer and Survivor, barring the most recent perks which are added to the game, which will be added in the following major update. And each perk having 4 tiers of the Shrine of Secrets, costing 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, and 8,000 Eerie Shards respectively. The first tier acts like how old Teachables used to, where it just unlocks the ability to buy them in the Blood Web. And then the next 3 acts like how Prestiges 1, 2, and 3 work, where it just gets unlocked on all the characters, tier 1, 2, and 3. If there's one thing I could say that was really shit about Year 7, and that was the maps that we got, man. They were bad, man. They were really bad. We only really got 2 good maps in Year 7, and that was nothing and nothing. Okay, so Eerie of Cringe rework and the Shuttlewood update were fine. RPD rework basically made the map slightly less shit, barring the 2 gens that spawn within a pubic hair length apart from each other. So yeah, this year I would just like to see a lot of maps get looked back at and just change in the same vein as they did with Gas Heaven, Blood Lodge, and Eerie of Crows. And maybe they could also fix the fucking horrendous hitboxes on the map geometry. Oh my lord, our items in this game just absolutely boring, and some are just downright bad. So yeah, I'd like to see an item update. Maybe it could start off with just standardizing all item add-ons to have a standard distribution, the same way that all killer add-ons have a standardized distribution of rarities, as well as reworking the current list of add-ons, since like nearly all of them are just boring stat changing add-ons. I think it's time that the map and keys were just replaced with new items. Perks already do what maps do, but just better, and with how Hatch works in DVD, keys are almost useless, barring like one add-on. The key could easily be replaced with a lot of these concepts I'm about to spitball now come from the Asimov's YouTube video about new item concepts. So yeah, the alchemical vial concept, which is from Asimov's, which is just an item that you drink and it provides various effects based on what add-ons you put on it, which is kind of what the original broken key was designed for. The map could be replaced, I don't know, it's on like a wire trap concept, which is from Keat. The skeleton key, I think, could just be made into a limited item anyway that spawns in the basement after the last survivor is killed. And you know what? Trial limited items that can only be found in chests. The rainbow map could do that. Like the flare guns from Afterlight MC that was shown on that aforementioned video. A climbable rope limited item. Smoke bomb, which is from Chef Demo. There's just a lot of insane item ideas that Behavior could come up with now. That just makes items way less boring. Also, please nerf brand new parts. By high concept, I'm talking more about the killer's power and the design and just any perks that accompany any character. You know, we're thinking like the Dredge, Wesker, we're thinking like potential energy, reassurance, hyper focus, blood rush. Knight's power was pretty high concept, it was just poorly executed, whereas Skullmerch's power is quite literally the opposite of that, being this really weird hybrid between Artist and Ghostface, who just zones survivors or holds down a 3-gen, which yes, despite the fact that Overbrine was nerfed, she could still just sadly do this. Also aesthetically, yeah, aesthetically we just need killers like Dredge, or something that's just never been done before. Maybe this year we could get a quadrupedal killer, or a Naga-esque killer, or something that resembles the anomaly from VHS. Either way, we just need less knights and skull merchants and more dredges. So this I'm actually making into a standalone video. I have it all scripted out, I just need the motivation to actually record it. But the idea is simple. It adds a secondary objective for each realm that then, instead of like being used to escape, it unlocks a survivor's unique ability, which basically kills two birds with one stone with the secondary objective and making survivors not just glorified skins. But yeah, I will talk more about that in the video that comes out. Okay, well that's it. That's basically my wish list for EA, at least everything I got written down on the script. If there's anything else you would like to see this year, slap that into the comments. If the car outside's fucking all get it on. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Put it all in the comments below, or just, you know, tell me I'm bad, I've got dumb ideas, concept denied, kick me in the balls, whatever you want to do. The world's your oyster, so don't undercook it. But apart from that, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you with the funny video. Bye bye.